October 11, 1939. A single letter found its way into the hands of U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The sender? None other than the 20th century's greatest mind, Albert Einstein. No one could have imagined that this brief letter would usher in the nuclear age, forever altering the course of human history. The late 1930s, Europe was shrouded in the shadow of war. In Germany, in particular, Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime was escalating its madness, persecuting Jews. A pacifist and a Jew, Dr. Albert Einstein had fled Nazi oppression in 1933, seeking refuge in the United States, where he continued his research at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton. He likely yearned to devote himself solely to his academic pursuits. But the world would not leave him in peace. In December 1938, a shocking piece of news hit Europe. German chemists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann had successfully achieved uranium fission. Lise Meitner and Otto Robert Frisch then theoretically proved that this phenomenon could release immense energy and trigger a chain reaction. This immediately implied the terrifying possibility of an atomic bomb, a fear that humanity would face catastrophe if Nazi Germany developed and misused. This technology first rapidly spread among conscientious scientists in Europe and America. Hungarian-born physicist Leo Szilard, in particular, was one of the first to grasp this danger. Leo Szilard believed that the U.S. government needed to be informed of this grave situation, but felt his voice, as an unknown scientist, would not be enough. He was convinced that Dr. Einstein, with his global renown, had to step forward. In July 1939, Szilard, along with fellow scientists Eugene Wigner and Edward Teller, visited Dr. Einstein on Long Island. As a pacifist, Einstein was initially reluctant to discuss weapon development. However, Szillard's earnest explanations and the realistic threat of Nazi Germany developing the atomic bomb first plunged him into deep deliberation. Ultimately, he agreed to write the letter. On August 2, 1939, Einstein signed the letter addressed to President Roosevelt. The draft of this letter was primarily composed by Szilard. The letter contained the following key points. In the course of the last 4 months, it has been made probable through the work of Fermi and Szilard on the one hand, and Joliot in France on the other, that it may become possible to set up a nuclear chain reaction in a large mass of uranium, by which vast amounts of power and large quantities of new radium-like elements would be generated. This new phenomenon would also lead to the construction of bombs. A single bomb of this type, carried by boat and exploded in a port, might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. And the most crucial warning: the fact that Germany has stopped the sale of uranium from the Czechoslovakian mines, which it has taken over, is a very alarming signal and suggests that they may have already embarked on the development of an atomic bomb. The letter was not delivered immediately. Szilard and his colleagues pondered how to convey this crucial message to the president, and ultimately decided to deliver it through Alexander Sachs, an economist and personal advisor to Roosevelt. And finally, on October 11, 1939, Sachs delivered Einstein's letter to President Roosevelt. Roosevelt reportedly expressed deep concern upon hearing the contents of the letter, stating, "This calls for action." Einstein's letter completely shifted the U.S. government's stance. The president immediately formed an advisory committee on uranium, which became the seed of the most massive scientific project in history, conducted in secrecy, the Manhattan Project. This project, with immense resources and the efforts of countless scientists, ultimately gave birth to the world's first atomic bomb in 1945. And in August of that year, it was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, ending World War II while simultaneously imprinting the terror of nuclear weapons upon humanity. Einstein agonized over this immense destructive power that he had helped unleash for the rest of his life. He later expressed deep regret, saying, "If I had known that the Germans would not succeed in developing an atomic bomb, I would have done nothing." Einstein's letter contained a scientist's ethical anguish and an urgent warning for human survival. Yet, simultaneously, it became the catalyst that propelled humanity into a new dimension, the nuclear age. Today, we live under the threat of nuclear weapons. Before his death, Einstein advocated for nuclear disarmament, emphasizing that it is not the bombs that save the world, but the human heart. His warnings and regrets remain a valid message for humanity. That one letter, which changed the world, continuously asks us, how should we wield this immense power? Thank you for watching. We'll be back with another historical moment in our next video.